achieving financial independence is by no means easy. But theoretically, if we had to decide who has it easier, someone who's single on the path to financial independence or someone who is married and on the path to financial independence, who would we choose?
Who is it?
Well, I think the quick answer here is I think that in some cases, married people mostly have it easier. But the long answer is...
I agree.
The long answer?
It depends.
Oh my god. Okay, so in order for me to say that married people have it easier, we had to make some assumptions here. I've got two major assumptions that we have to make. Assumptions. I like assumptions better.
Assumptions.
The first assumption that we have to assume is that the couple has the same goals in order to reach financial independence, because if they don't...
Then it's going to be a lot harder to try to reach your financial independence goals.
Yeah, because if one person is spending all the money and the other person is trying to save for financial independence, it's not going to work.
Tim, he spends all the money.
Hey, I do, but strategically. All right. Okay, the next assumption that we have to make is that when we're talking about some married people, we have to assume it's a forever marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it's not, then obviously achieving financial independence is going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to go on the single path to it. Okay, so really, in order for it to be easier for married people to achieve financial independence, they have to be on the same level of goals.
Yeah.
And they have to stay
together.
married.
Yeah. Stick together.
And just a quick little thing here, a little bit of fun. The average cost of a divorce, I looked it up, and I'll put it up on the screen for you. The average cost of a divorce was $12,900.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Jesus.
And if you're financially independent, if you've got a lot of assets, I bet it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Oh yeah, you gotta split all this up.
So that is my cue to ask you to like this video. Please like this video.
Click the button.
Even if you don't like it, just like the video real quick. Okay, help us out. Thanks.
I hope you like
it. All right, next thing. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it for real though. Okay, so when we're talking about married versus single here, who has it easier to achieve financial independence? We can talk about income, we can talk about taxes, we can talk about other stuff. Okay, we'll get to it. All right, so the first thing we'll talk about is income. So when it comes to income, who has it easier, single people or married people?
Ding ding ding, it's married people, you guessed right.
So when you have married people, you potentially have two income sources, right? One income source, one income source. When you're single, you have potentially one income source. Now, of course, you can create multiple income sources, but most people can't. But we're going to talk about just your primary day job, your day job.
Day job.
Even if you work the night shift. All right, so we're talking about your primary job. All right, so primary job. So you potentially have two major income sources rather than one. And that's usually going to add up to more than one. And here's another fun statistic for you. So, did you know that married men make the most on average of any other group?
It's crazy.
I don't know why, but I thought I would add that statistic up there for you. You're welcome.
Oh, wow.
What about when it comes to taxes? Who has the benefit there?
It is still married people.
Exactly. And that's not anybody's fault, but the way our tax system is designed.
Yeah.
So basically, the tax system is more favorable towards married people. It's just how it is, pretty much. So this can be evident. This can be found.
Evidence.
This can be evidenced. This can be found in the tax brackets. So if you look at the federal tax brackets, you can see the marginal tax brackets. So how much is the maximum amount of your income is going to be taxed at a certain amount. So if you're married, filing jointly, your 12% bracket is going to be up to $81,050 of taxable income, and that's for a 2021 year. But if you're single, it's going to be half that. So up to $40,525 is going to put you in the 12% bracket. After you go above that in taxable income, you enter the danger zone.
The danger zone.
No, you enter the 22% bracket, and of course this can change. Tax laws can change.
Yeah.
Very, very rapidly.
Yes.
If you're married, filing jointly, you can make up to a lot more money than if you were single. So $100,000 of income between a married couple filing jointly is going to be taxed a lot less than $100,000 of a single person making that same $100,000.
Yeah.
So that's just how the tax code works. It's going to be easier. And of course, then when you come to your tax deductions, the standard deduction is double because there's two people. So that's another advantageous, because you're treated as one for tax purposes, but you're two people and you get double the benefit. You know what I mean? So then, additionally to that, a lot of the tax credits, they're a lot more friendly to people who are married because the income ranges are higher in order to qualify for that tax bracket, or that tax credit, I'm sorry. But what about when it comes to your investment? I have to jump. People like it when you jump. What about when it comes to your investments, Steve?
What about it? What
Who
does
has
it
it
have?
easier? Who has it easier?
Last time I checked, 2 is bigger than 1. So married people have it easier in investing as well. This is not a video about promoting marriage, but it kind of is at the same time.
No, not at all. All right. I'm cutting that out. No, okay, I'm cutting that out.
Okay.
I might not cut that out. Now here's how we are determining this. So when it comes to investing, when you're married, you have access to probably double the accounts as a single person does.
Yeah.
So you have access to 2 IRAs. You could have access to 2 401ks or workplace retirement accounts. You could have access to 2 health savings accounts if you have high deductible investment plans.
Yeah.
And so that means you can funnel. You can put a lot more money into these accounts, and basically you can get bigger tax deductions and qualify for more tax credits, and you can save for financial independence double the amount a single person can on their own.
Yeah.
Because you have access to so many more accounts. Now, so that could be an advantage. When it actually comes to investing, like your investment choices, we all have the same choices, so we're equal there.
Yeah.
So when we say that married wins this category, it's just because they could have access to double the accounts.
Yeah.
Next thing we have here on personal finances is expenses.
Next, personal finances.
This is late night show right here, late night television.
Coming up on personal finances.
Tonight on personal finance. Okay, we have expenses. Who has it easier when it comes to expenses?
It's single people. Yay, single people want something.
Okay, we had to give this category. We had to give something to the single people.
We have to give some to the single people.
Okay, now here's the logic and here's the reasoning, or maybe illogical reasoning for this. Okay, so when it comes to being single, I feel like just as a general rule, like a societally pressured rule.
Pressured.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, I feel like single people can get away with spending less. And it's a little bit easier to get away with it because there's less social norms when it comes to spending when you're single. For example, when you're single, you can live in that tiny apartment that costs very, very little, and you can get away with it. No one bats an eye at it.
Yeah.
Bats
an eye.
They're batting eyes.
Bats.
no bats. So you can get away with living that kind of like frugal lifestyle. And it's like when you're single, and it's like totally normal and totally like socially acceptable, right? But when you're married, like there's like somehow like all of a sudden like there's so much more expected of you. You gotta have 2 cars. Each person has to have their own car, and then you gotta move into a house instead of an apartment, and then you gotta have children and things like that. So there's all these like kind of like social norms that kind of make when you're married, like keeping your expenses low a little bit harder. Now, of course, you can ignore all those social norms like we have.
Yeah.
But I had to give the category to single people because I think it's a little bit easier with getting away with spending less as a single person than it is when you are married.
It's cheaper to get 1 cup of ramen than 2 cups of ramen to eat by yourself.
30 cents versus 60 cents. But I eat 2 on my own.
Oh, okay, never mind. unless you eat a lot.
But here, now this is the most important part right here. So what does this all mean?
What does it mean?
Nothing.
Oh. Why would you? It doesn't mean anything.
You've wasted your entire time.
Nothing
no, I'm just
really
kidding.
matters.
No. Okay, what does this really mean? This doesn't really mean anything. So I think that married people, given those perfect circumstances, have it easier to achieve financial independence than single persons. Does that mean that single people shouldn't pursue financial independence?
Heck no.
No. Heck no.
Heck no.
You don't have to deal with all those complications. You make it complicated yourself if you want to.
But it's just you, so you don't, it's easier. It should be
Everyone
easier.
should pursue financial independence, whether you're single or you're married.
Yes.
And the best way that you can pursue financial independence, especially if you're just getting started, is to watch the video that I created, a full guide on how to get started on the path to financial independence.
Definitely.
Okay? That video is going to pop up on the end screen right after we get off of the screen, and you can go on that end screen. So please click that video, watch that video if you haven't already. It's a full guide for you to get started on your path to financial independence, whether you're single, married, or anything in between. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach.
I'm Phoenix.
From OnCashflow.com. And we hope to see you next time. It's at the same time, ready?
Oh.
And we hope to see you next time.
Oh, that was perfect. Bye.